Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Kaizouwar here. So I'm never going to have an opportunity to talk about Hyperdimension Neptunia ever again on my channel, probably. So why not talk about this particular topic? I don't really make hype videos for ports, but I decided to make an exception for this one because, again, I'm never going to be able to talk about Hyperdimension Neptunia ever again on my channel, maybe. So why not? So Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1, Rebirth 2, and Rebirth 3 are getting ports to the Switch, and Rebirth 2 and Rebirth 3 are getting ports to the PlayStation 4, which is super awesome. Now, from my understanding, the only reason that the first Rebirth game isn't even on the PS4, well, isn't getting ports to the PS4, is mostly because there's already a version of that game already on PS4 called Rebirth Plus. And if that wasn't enough, there's also a remake of Rebirth already on the PS5 known as Reverse. So, which is funny to me. It's a remake of a remake. I don't know why that's so funny to me. It's just hilarious that that's even a thing. And I know that Hyperdimension Neptunia, the Neptunia is not too, like, you know, they don't really care about what they're remaking or not, because I am aware of the game Mega Dimension Neptunia V2, which is basically the only Neptunia game I physically own. I played some of the others, but I don't own them, right? And so I own an actual physical copy of V2, and I know for a fact that there's a version that's a remake of that game called V2R, which is just weird to me. Why remake a game to add VR support? Don't know. They could have just, I don't know, they maybe could have added VR support to it. Don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but whatever. But for me personally, I'm super excited. I'm always excited to see ports from games that I've been interested in for a while. I've been interested to play more of the Neptunia series. I don't have a PS5, so I can't play Reverse. So I thought, okay, well, since these ports of these games are coming, I might as well just wait for them. Granted, these games were already released on PS Vita and Steam, so I could have played these far earlier, but I didn't get into Neptunia until like a couple of years ago, actually, and I didn't really like get into the games too deeply then. I bought V2 to see if it would be interesting enough for me to play. I bought that alongside Fairy Fencer F, another Compile Heart / Idea Factory game, and I really have been enjoying them. I've actually played Fairy Fencer F way more than Neptunia. I think I've just vibed with that game more, which is funny to me. I played all the endings. I bought the PS4 version of Fairy Fencer F, and I even bought the Nintendo Switch version of Fairy Fencer F's Advent Dark Force as well, which is actually pretty crazy. I don't know why that I needed to have both versions, but I wanted a physical copy, and the only physical copy that was even out was by limited run for the Switch, so I thought, okay, why not? And it's probably the worst version of that game because the port doesn't run too well, but hey, I own it physically. That's the only thing I care about. But it's nice to see that these games are actually out, and from what I've heard, they're releasing the games for Switch physically and digitally, and they're coming to the West very soon, which is actually pretty cool. I like this. The fact that they're like releasing it all together is actually pretty cool. Now, I've heard about some bundle deals that are going to probably release them like maybe on digital storefronts. Like, oh, you can buy all these games for a set amount of price, or you can buy them individually, all that stuff. I don't know what the whole physical deal is for regards to the game on the Switch, because if they're releasing it physically on Switch, they will either have to release the games individually or all in one. I don't know if they're going to do that. Don't know. Just gotta wait and see. But it's cool to know they're getting on PS4 as well. I'm hearing about the Western releases of these games. They're getting a Western release for the Switch versions, but the PS4 versions are kind of up in the air, which they're going to get Western releases. There's no way they're going to not do that. But yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to see stuff about Neptunia, like getting more ports. Like I've heard recently about the most current game right now is Sisters versus Sisters, and that's getting on Xbox and Switch, which I find crazy. Seeing Neptunia on Xbox, I don't think that's ever happened. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't think a single Neptunia game has ever gotten on Xbox until Sisters versus Sisters, which is actually pretty cool. They're starting to branch out, so we could probably guess if they make another Neptunia game, maybe they'll put it out more. Don't know. We just gotta wait and see. But it's actually pretty cool for me since I got in this franchise rather recently, and I want to go back and play other games, Steam will probably be your best choice because they put a lot of the games on Steam. Some of the games, like I think Reverse isn't on Steam, if I remember correctly, don't know, quote me on that. But I know it's for PS5. I know that for damn sure. But it's funny to see all these games like this, especially Reverse, like why remake a remake? I don't understand that, but I just find it funny that Rebirth 1 is even going to get on PS4 because of Rebirth Plus, and also Reverse is a point to pay on the PS5. And hey, if you got a PS5, you can still play these games through backwards compatibility. It's cool to see these games on the Switch. It's nice to see them putting more Neptunia games on the Switch because I mean, I would prefer if they were just cheaper, you know, like they put them at a very reduced price, because they're being released at 5,000 some odd yen, and I can't remember the exact number, but I calculated it out, and it's going to come up to $35. Now, they can go two ways about this. They're going to release it either 30 or 40. I feel like it makes sense to release it at 30, but these games would definitely be like 20 or something. You know, these are just the ports, you know, so I don't know if they're going to release them at reduced price. They could easily go on sale, whatever. Hell, I bought my Switch physical copy of V2 for $40, and the only reason I bought that physical copy like that is because it was a limited run copy, and limited run is known to be expensive, and I just wanted the copy because it was so hard to get that game. Like, it was so hard to actually get like physical copies of Compile Hard games. There's still another game out there I want to get called Dragon Star Varnir, but I can't even get it yet because the physical copy right now for limited run is like 70 some odd dollars, and no. But I'm actually pretty excited to actually play the first Neptunia game, because I've a remake of the first game. I heard the first original Hyper Neptunia game wasn't that good, but at least with these remakes you can actually play it, and that's good. I always wanted to play Rebirth 1. I could have easily played it before on Steam, but I don't know. I just felt like I didn't really think about it too much. I played V2, and I feel like playing V2, I wasn't really lost on anything. Like, I started to understand what was going on in the characters more. I wasn't really lost getting into that game. I didn't feel like I didn't know what was going on. I didn't feel like I needed to know like a long-ass backstory of these characters and know what their deal was. They actually introduced the stuff in that game to me pretty well. I understood what Neptunia was, and I understood what Uzume was all about. I understood what Nepgear was. You know, it was pretty easy to get into. It felt like a good beginner point. I don't know what other Neptunia fans think of it. I don't know if V2 is the best like way to get in, stuff like that, but hey, it felt like a pretty good entry point for me. But I feel like Rebirth 1, being a remake of the very first game, might be the best entry point. And since they're doing it all three, that'd be great, so I can understand what the deal is with, you know, Rebirth 1, 2, and 3. Because I'm planning to get those on the games on the Switch if possible. I really want to play them. Like, honestly, I'm having fun playing Hyperdimension Neptunia. It's not the most complex game out there, but I'm actually having fun with it. Like, if I've had fun with Fairy Fencer F, which is it just has the battle system from that game. It's literally Neptunia, but not Neptunia. Like, like Fairy Fencer F is just like Neptunia's battle system and graphics and stuff like that. It's just like a different IP altogether. So, you know, I have experience with Fairy Fencer F, so I feel like I wouldn't be lost going into the other Hyperdimension Neptunia games. I know like some gameplay differences are between each game and stuff like that. Fair enough, but I don't want to like, you know, drop money on every Neptunia game. I hear a lot of people have had issues with all the weird experimental games that Hyperdimension Neptunia has brought out, and no one really plays them. So I'm kind of being wary about what specific game I play. I should probably play more games just to get my judgment on, because I want to buy Sisters vs. Sisters. Sisters vs. Sisters, I still want to get that someday, and I'm playing on to, but not just yet. I want to at least see what the deal is with Rebirth, because the Rebirth ports won't come out until May. So I got plenty of time till then to actually beat the first Neptunia V2, but I did not beat V2 yet, so gotta get there yet. But yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to talk about. Super excited for these ports. Definitely want to see what's more is going to happen in the future. So yeah, without further ado, see y'all next time. Peace out, everyone. You know, if you like Hyperdimension Neptunia, or you know anything about the series that could help me, or you could recommend me some of the other spin-offs or whatever, tell me in the comment section below. I'm always looking for new games to play. I will literally play anything that won't cost me an arm and a leg to get. So yeah, see y'all next time. Peace, everyone. Hope all y'all have a great day.